Hi and welcome. This is Trader Genius and I'm Jess, and today I wanted to talk to you all about Gentherm, stock symbol THRM. This is a trade that I had recently, and I had recently picked it up based on a weekly time frame. So let's go ahead and share the screen. And on this time frame, we're going to spend more time on the daily time frame, so we kind of zoom in to see what it's like. But when I was looking at Gentherm, I was looking at the weekly candle. So I was looking at this candle right here on the weekly. Let's turn on a couple indicators so we can kind of get a sense of what's been going on with Gentherm. So trigger, green, momentum in the upward direction, red, momentum in the downward direction. And Gentherm has been having pretty decent momentum for quite some time since the recovery. And let's turn on K-band as well. K-band, blue being power in the upward direction, yellow being power in the downward direction. And at the time, Gentherm on this candle is where I had entered. It was pushing up higher and had pushed above the $75 mark, which I liked. It also had K-band at that time during that week. And when you look to the left here, you don't see any other candles. Now, Gentherm is on a breakout. It's on a breakout. It hasn't been to this level since before 2000. It was in the 90s, late 90s. So it's been a while since it's been to this level. So we're on a bit of a breakout. And at the time I had trigger, the green background, and K-band, the blue overlay. Now, by it closing out at the end of the week, it no longer had that blue K-band. Let's zoom in so we can see a little bit about what happened. So here is the candle that I entered in. So when I was doing my analysis, I was looking at the prior candle, the candle the day before. In the evening, I was looking for stocks and potential opportunities, and I came across this one, and I liked what I saw. And part of why I liked what I saw is, again, on the weekly, there was the trigger, the blue K-band, and it was up above $75. And on the daily, we're seeing the same thing. So that got me interested, and I went ahead and placed my order. Now, my orders aren't going to get executed till the next morning. And so I placed my order, and then I had looked at the price in the morning and didn't notice a significant gap down. And by the time the opening bell happened, there was a significant gap down. So closed up here, opened down here. And I wasn't too happy about that, but I wasn't too concerned either because it started running back up. So it looked like it was going to be a gap and fill. And so I was going to see what happened by the end of the day. What I was really interested in is it going to hold above this $72 mark? So when we look to the left, we can see here and here, as well as here, it nears the $72 and then pivots down. So roughly about $72 is creating a level of resistance. And it did in turn become support. So we found support above $72, and it didn't trigger my stop loss in the process. One of the reasons for this downturn, though, isn't just on Gentherm itself. It's also in the overall market. So let's take a look at the overall market. When we look at the overall market on the daily chart, March 2nd ended right in this zone, somewhere in here. And so it was on a bit of a downturn. It was coming up. It broke through that level of resistance on the way up, and then it closed back down below this level of resistance or near it. So with that downturn in the market and the volatility looking in the market, this caused some issues for some stocks out there. Now, I was looking at it on a weekly time frame. So when we look at it from a weekly perspective, we still have good momentum in the market with the green background. And we are looking at a little bit of a downtick, but nothing that caused a red background to pop up. Let's go ahead and go back to Gentherm. So it took a hit and opened down, and it closed down. However, $72 provided a level of support, and it hadn't triggered my stop loss. So I remained in, and it channeled between $72 and $75 for the next few days. Now, March 5th, this was the end of the week, and it was pushing up again. It closed right at $75. Now, based on my process, I needed this stock to open higher if I was going to remain in this stock. So on Monday morning, it needed to open higher above $75. If it was going to do that, then I would stay in. And if it opened lower, then I would be getting out. So just so happens that on March 8th, it did open higher. It opened at $76.11, and it moved upwards, gaining some power, the blue K band, along with its momentum, and moved higher. So I stayed in this trade. But one thing to note is look at the candle sizes, and they are getting smaller, and the ranges are getting more narrow as it's moving up. And coincidentally, it's moving up and having that behavior as it's nearing the high that was found on March 1st of 79.45. In addition to this, the overall market, let's go back to the long-term market chart and go back to the daily. The overall market at this time on the 12th was nearing its own level of resistance. Now this is looking at over 7,000 stocks, and this is a known level of resistance. I did not want to test this resistance. So there was resistance on the stock as well as resistance using this overall market chart that has been proven. So with that being said, and the narrowing of the ranges of the candles and the smaller body of the candles, I went ahead and sold Gentherm on March 12th for a nice little profit and moved on to my next pick. I hope you learned something from watching this, and thank you for watching.